Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Dark Knight's Metal Alan Scott Dread Lantern. I ordered this figure from the CMD store. It's a Canadian-based website, and they get a lot of the gold label figures early. This guy's a gold label figure. Gold label simply means it's an exclusive. I don't actually know where he's supposed to be exclusive to. McFarlane has advertised that he's going to be available at their San Diego Comic-Con booth, but where he'll be sold afterwards, I do not know. Happy to check my VOD list, as the gold label figures can sometimes be a pain in the ass, typically when they're Walmart figures. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus. This is part of the gold label collection. DC Multiverse Dread Lantern. Here he is in the package. He has some sort of flame effect here, a sword made of flame around his eyes, and then I see a collector's card and a display stand. Now this is Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, but this is a weird Dread Lantern version. There is a traditional Alan Scott coming in the near future, part of their collector's line or whatnot. One side of the package, Dread Lantern from Dark Knight's Metal. Other side, Dread Lantern. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there's his barcode, in case it helps anybody. And at the back side, here's Alan Scott, the Dread Lantern. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright. Now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He comes with a display stand, a collector's card, and then a Sword of Fire. But before we take a look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, but this is not him in his traditional Green Lantern attire from the Silver Age or Golden Age. This is Alan Scott as a Dread Lantern from the Dark Knight's Metal. In this story, Alan Scott was trying to save his Earth, and he struck an unthinkable deal to protect his planet and its inhabitants. In exchange for Earth's safety, he volunteered to serve as a demon's herald. It's kind of interesting. He basically sacrificed himself, became evil in order to save his Earth. Noble, yet twisted at the same time. Now, it's kind of interesting. We have this Alan Scott figure, and of course they're going to release the weird variant first. There is an upcoming traditional old school version. He's in the sort of signature collector's line. Looking forward to him. He should be out in, I don't know, a month or two. In the meantime, we have this to give us a pretty good idea what to expect with the upcoming Alan Scott figure. So let's take a look. This one has a lot of sort of fire themes. The fiery sword, the fire coming out of his eyes. Very, very weird looking. He's got the domino mask, but it's not complete. You can see he's got blonde hair. Collar popped up, one of his signature looks. Big clamps on the cape going down. He's got spikes on the gauntlets. I noticed the collector's version does not have that, and that's great. Now, his power ring on his right hand, and I thought that I'd read he always wears a power ring in his left hand. I'm not that picky. I don't know that much about Alan Scott, but I can see that definitely bothering people. I think it's sort of a Green Lantern logo on his chest, but it's like messed up on the side. Double jointed elbows. Double jointed knees. Overall, it's a good figure, in my opinion. Not really a necessary one, but I'm definitely looking forward to the regular upcoming Alan Scott. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. The fire coming out of his eyes is kind of weird, but kind of cool at the same time. Now for his accessories, and let's start with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. We've seen it a ton of times. Black perfect circle, very thin, very basic. And also his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of the Dread Lantern Alan Scott. I guess he's still a Green Lantern. He's got the Sword of Fire coming out of his eyes. Gives you a good idea of what it actually is supposed to look like. Translates a little bit weird to action figure form. Green Dread Lantern, Dark Knight's Metal. On the back side, there is a description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Now for his fiery sword. Could be a cool accessory to give to Azrael. The sword itself is completely out of flames. Even the handle. It's made with sort of orange and yellow plastic. It looks good, although the handle being made of fire definitely limits what you can do with this thing, as a lot of characters won't be able to hold it, or it wouldn't make sense or look right. Here's Alan Scott holding and yielding that sword. Now they're taking a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7.2 inches tall, and the flames in his eyes go just a little bit taller than that. It's going to translate to just over 18 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Start with his head here. Of course, you can rotate from side to side. You can look up about that far, down about that far. Not bad. Tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint goes up about 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area, increasing the range of motion and covering the large gap that would be there. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. His torso, he's got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one is waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, very good range of motion in his torso area. Legs, complete dozen splits, not a ball joint, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is non-existent. They go forward about that far, back not much. Double jointed knees, and then his ankle, forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock, and of course, to articulation. Here's Alan Scott, hovering above the skies, using his Lanter powers, and here he is, using his power ring, holding his flame sword. Now let's check him out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some of the McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Let's start off by checking him out next to some other Green Lantern figures. Alan Scott, although this is not the traditional version, is the original OG Green Lantern in the DC universe. Here he is, next to Hal Jordan, probably the most known Green Lantern nowadays, but he's not the original. And here he is, next to John Stewart, probably the second most popular and well-known Green Lantern. Then, next to Kyle Rayner, another Earth Green Lantern. Here's the Dread Lantern Alan Scott, next to the Dawnbreaker. The Dawnbreaker is also from Dark Knight's Metal, and is an evil version of Bruce Wayne as Green Lantern. Here are all the different Green Lantern figures and variants McFarlane has made so far. Kyle Rayner, Hal Jordan, Alan Scott, Bruce Wayne, and John Stewart. The next couple of Green Lantern figures I'm aware of that are coming out is going to be the collector's version of Alan Scott. That looks to be a pretty cool figure. And then we have a blacklight or glow-in-the-dark version of John Stewart. And here he is, next to the only Yellow Lantern they've made so far. This is Batman as a Sinestro Corps member. Then, next to the only Blue Lantern they've made, this is Kyle Rayner. And now, next to the Red Lanterns they've done, Atrocitus and Batrocidus, here's Alan Scott, next to some Black Lanterns, Deathstorm, Superman, and then a couple of Black Lantern Batmans. Here are all the different lanterns McFarlane has made so far. Black Lanterns, Blue Lanterns, Red Lanterns, Yellow Lanterns, and a bunch of Green Lanterns. And there are a ton more they could make. Not just a ton of other characters, but even a bunch of different colored Green Lantern Corps. Now let's check them out. Next to some other recent release McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the Injustice 3-pack, Batman, Supergirl, and Dr. Fate. And here he is, next to some recent Walmart exclusive gold label figures. We have the Vampire Joker, Batman and Superman, and then Captain Atom, Beast Boy, and Eradicator. Then, next to some recent Target exclusive gold label figures, we have the Flashpoint Aquaman, Project Superman and Flash, Sinestro Corps Batman, Joker Eyes Future State Batman, Impulse, and Deadman. And now, next to the goofy head sculpt Rebirth Superman versus Ultraman 2-pack, here's the Dread Lantern. Next to the most recent Batman wave, we have the Nightfall Batman, Batman Incorporated Batwing, and the Batman Reborn Two-Faces Batman. And here he is, next to the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive black and white accent Superman and Flash. Then, next to some McFarlane Toy Store exclusive gold label figures, Superman in his Unchained Armor Patina variant, Kyle Rayner as a Blue Lantern, and Dick Grayson Robin. And now, next to the fifth wave of Page Punchers, this is a Batman-themed wave, fighting the Frozen. We have Batman, Robin, Batgirl, and Mr. Freeze. There's a Platinum Chase variant of this Batgirl, and I'm on the hunt for her. Here's the Dread Lantern, next to the entire Flash movie wave. And here he is, next to the Titans wave, Collector-Build Beast Boy. Then, next to the most recent McFarlane Mega figures, Falcom Abominus and Calabac. And now, next to the Arkham City Riddler and the Arkham Knight Earth 2 Batman skin, here's Alan Scott, next to Shazam and Wonder Woman from Shazam, Fury of the Gods. And here he is, next to the fourth wave of Page Punchers. This is an Aquaman-themed wave. Aquaman, Aqualad, Ocean Master, and Black Manta. And finally, next to the Dark Knight Trilogy wave, Collect-a-Build Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Now let's check him out. Next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start with my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, with some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures, here's Alan Scott, next to a bag of Halos. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, standing with some NECA figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, with some Maplex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a pretty cool figure. It gives you a really good idea of how the traditional Alan Scott figure is going to come out. That being said, I didn't even know there was a Dark Knight's Metal Dread Lantern Alan Scott. I don't really need an evil version of Alan Scott. Hell, I barely need a regular version. But sign me up for both. The figure's sculpt and paint job, no problem there. His accessory, the Sword of Fire, pretty cool. I can probably put that to use with other figures. Articulation is everything you'd expect from a modern McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. For the rate the figure, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. He just doesn't really do that much for me. He looks fine, but I don't really need an evil Alan Scott Green Lantern. I will probably never use him except for comparing with other Dark Knight's Metal stuff. Still, cool figure, and I'm really looking forward to the collector edition. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.